Well, trending in business is the policy rate to be set by the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana. And we understand that the MPC is maintained the policy rate at 19%. The last Monetary Policy Committee meeting in July ended with the central bank nudging up the policy rate for the second time this year from 18% to 19%. Abigail Adumankwe was there for us, and she's joined me over the telephone. Hello, Abigail.
Yes.
Tell us what informs this.
Yes, like you rightly said, the central bank has maintained the policy rate at 19%, and they are still citing the risk to inflation and the volatility in exchange rate, the issues we're having on the forex market. And even though growth is still positive according to them, there is a need to maintain this rate. It's a sort of measure to fix the instability in the system, I should say. But they also talked about the proceeds from the bond and the proposed syndicated loan. It's something they've been hammering on to ensure some form of stability moving forward. And other issues concerning business confidence that has dipped from March to they talk about 82% in March and 70, dropping from 82 to 78. It's like business confidence has really dropped, looking at the economic challenges, even though consumer confidence, according to them, has improved. They also mentioned some deficits that we recorded in the budget, about 5.3% of GDP from January to July, and 55.4% of public sector debt recorded in that same period. So quite a number of economic issues there, and I believe that subsequently would update viewers on all the issues.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that update, Abigail. Abigail Adumankwe was at the MPC announcement earlier today. She joined us with some detail. Turn attention to something else, the energy sector. And load shedding currently ongoing in Ghana is expected to intensify following the decision of the Nigerian authorities to stop gas supplies to Ghana. At least that's what we hear. The decision, which took effect from September 16, 2014, followed labor unrest in Nigeria. Meanwhile, government says it is working emergency measures to forestall adverse effects on individuals and industry. Now, this means a number of gas power generators could enter a shutdown. For instance, the Azokili power plant will rely solely on gas. But let's get detail on this from Samuel Fletcher. He's head of communications with the Volta River Authority. Samuel, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Is this true? Are we getting a Nigeria cut gas supply to Ghana?
That's true. We were informed yesterday, at least I was informed yesterday, that gas supply has been cut from Itoki. Itoki is the place in Nigeria where the gas source is. It happened yesterday. Normally when it happens, you have a day or two grace because the line is just a 400-mile line. So you still have gas packed up in it. But beyond 2 days, you lose gas completely. And so when I heard it yesterday, my hope was that this unrest, whatever is causing it, will not go beyond the point where we wouldn't have gas at all in the pipeline. I checked this morning. I think we had some gas because there were some indication of pressure, but obviously the flow out from the source was not there. And it is what happens is that if you lose the gas completely, then DRA would have to switch on to, some of our machines can run on light crude oil, so we have to switch on from gas to light crude oil immediately. It is those machines that are configured to run only on gas that really suffer. And so that's what the situation is. And when that happens, it means that there will be an additional deficit in the system.
How soon before we lose plants like Azokili?
I can't speak for Azokili. I think if you ask me how soon before we run out of gas, I have already told you that when the source is cut, you have some 2 days grace, and beyond that, you will run out of gas completely. What I have tried lately not to do is to speak for any independent power producer. I speak for VRA. Sorry.
I see. What are the implications in terms of power generations for the VRA cost-wise?
For us, we have a few machines that run on gas. We have what we call the MRP that gives us about 40 megawatts. We have the Siemens plant that gives us about anything between 20 and 30 megawatts. And then we have T3, which gives us currently about 40 megawatts. And so if you put all that together, then from our end, we're likely to lose about 100 to 110.
I see. And we've always mentioned how it's more expensive to use the light crude oil instead. What should the Ghanaian people expect from the VRA?
No, I have told you that some machines can run on light crude oil. So those ones, you only have to switch from gas to light crude oil. But those that cannot run on any other fuel except gas because of their configuration are the ones that I have mentioned to you. So in the absence of gas, those are the plants that we won't be able to run. In fact, Station 2, which is the Siemens plant, in the absence of gas, can actually run on diesel. Diesel is really, really expensive, and I'm not sure if it will make any economic sense for us to run on diesel to generate just about 20 to 30 megawatts.
And that was what I was hoping to achieve with the question in terms of the cost to be incurred now that we're not getting the gas. We've always said it was more expensive.
That if you don't use gas and you use crude oil, you double or sometimes triple your cost of production. But under the circumstances, I think that it makes a lot of sense to run on light crude oil to avoid having that heavy deficit and therefore putting a huge burden on consumers as far as load shedding is concerned. So difficult as it may be, I think that it is proper that we switch to run on light crude oil.
Thank you very much, Samuel, for your time. Samuel Kwesi Fletcher is Head of Communications for the Volta River Authority. Now, in a bid to recover their debts, bulk oil distributors are working on rolling out a credit rating system that will determine the creditworthiness of oil marketing companies. Senior Hosi, a lobbyist for the fuel importers, said they are working towards the first week of next month to roll out the system, whereby the OMCs will be rated based on their credit history. The bulk oil distributors, he said, will equally be rated to monitor how they are complying with the system. The BDCs have been struggling to recover some 1 billion Ghana cedis debt from the oil marketing companies. The difficulties have compelled them to sell products on cash and carry basis in recent times. Senor Hosi said, while debt collection has improved in recent times due to fuel shortage, a lot remains to be collected. Senor Hosi is CEO of the BDCs. He's joined me over the telephone for some more on this. Senor, you're welcome to the program, Senor.
Thank you, Kemi.
Right, so Senor, shed some more light on this credit rating system.
Bottom line, we just want to sanitize the industry. There are quite a number of very good oil marketing companies, but the general liquidity crisis we face today has been quite a wake-up call on how we manage our receivables. Our receivables are a function of indebtedness from oil marketing companies and also indebtedness on the side of government. And while we go after government to honor their part, we equally have to find a way to also sanitize our exposure to the OMC market as well, so we can all have a sustainable industry in general. So this system would probably more like show the real picture for every given oil marketing company industry-wide, as whether this person is good enough, what kind of intermediary position he has, what kind of debt profile he seems to have, and then it enables BDCs to make a lot more informed, credit management.
So what form will it take?
Pardon?
What form will it take?
It will take a form of grading. They are going to be in different tiers, and depending on how your credit history has been with the industry, not just a given BDC. You can't owe one BDC a lot and then not owe somebody and think you're fine. No, we'll take the global picture. There's a scientific methodology to back that on a quantitative basis. There's also a qualitative basis for that. And there are going to be recommended trade terms for every single category you find yourself in. If you're a grade A, fantastic. You are likely to get the best of terms. If you are a grade E or a grade F or a tier 4, obviously you are not likely to get the best of credit that we have on the market. So it enables us to treat those who are more responsible in their payable management, those who are more responsible in their receivable management. We treat them properly and encourage them to do well, and their businesses thrive, ours thrive. If you remember one thing, Kemini, our ultimate goal is to make sure the consumer is well served. If liquidity is going to stand in the way, then we have to improve our trade practice so we can ensure that we consistently serve the economy and the consumer, which is the greater goal that the BDC mandate stands for.
I see. So tell us how debt collection has changed since the last time we spoke.
Well, generally, we're all improving. We've been engaging the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, who've been very cooperative in us trying to find a way to correct the current industry trade anomalies. And we intend to fully document every single thing we're doing now and officially launch it somewhere in October. But things have generally improved on the side of the OMCs. We are still working at improving it much better. But we equally have the government side, which is a bigger chunk of the entire exposure that we have. Government is the biggest debtor to the industry. And to improve the liquidity crisis, we need to deal with them. We need to engage with them as well. So we're trying to solve it on all ends to make sure we are functional, we can sustain our operations to serve you and the consumer at large.
We'll leave it here. Thank you very much, Senor. Senor Hosi is CEO for Bulk Oil Distributors Companies.